Please describe an encounter with a squirrel.
An encounter with a squirrel. I was driving the golf cart, and I was on the cart path, and I saw two squirrels. They were chasing each other, and as I was getting closer, they were running across the cart path, and I put on my brakes, and they stopped in the middle of the cart path and looked at me, and I said, how about this? If I wouldn't have stopped, I could have run over one of these squirrels. Their life would have ended. And that reminds me, the many people that I have been with in their last breath of life, and due to bad choices and mistakes in their life, their life is taken away in the moment. So life is precious, whether it's a squirrel or a human being.
Hello, I'm Cameron Carpenter, and I'm having a good day, and I hope your day is, when it's happening, it's good for you. And I'm back with another video essay that you're with your eyes that you're gonna watch. And now let's get inside of it. Pretentiousness. It's what gets you an A in your basic video production class because everyone else shot their films on iPhones. Pretentiousness has long been the downfall of many films because their deep meanings and themes have gone beyond the limit of human understanding and have instead made a home in the nest of various insecurities rooted in our monolithic primal states that we are not yet ready to confront. Today, I'd like to use some films to help break down some questions about pretentiousness, chiefly why it exists, how we can notice it, and what we can do to avoid it. The drive to be pretentious is inherently codependent on our insatiable needs as artists to express the duality of artifice and reality in a narrative that we present to an audience as what we determine to be a universal experience. As filmmakers produce from their womb a great labor, they must also devour the fruit back inside of themselves in an effort to become their own creation, for the sake of navigating an audience through the annals of their creative process, allowing only a momentary narrative respite so the full spectrum of emotion can be felt as per the intention of the filmmaker. A pretentious movie generally lines up with three specific views of a filmmaker: accessibility, reflexivity, and a constant foreboding feeling of having exclusive emotional response previously unfelt by all of humankind, but at the same time untapped by pretentiousness' brother element of surrealism, because surrealism dictates the emotional bit of an environment and its effect on the subject rather than just the evocation of the human spirit without any outward stimuli. But how can we tell when a movie is being pretentious and when it's being smart and deep? For this, contextualization is almost always necessary. Questions about whether the film is working in a specific genre and how far it wants to deviate from that genre, or if it wants to use the staples of that genre to make a specific point. Questions about what themes the director allows to be expressed in visual form versus dialogue.
Sometimes there's so much beauty in the world. I feel like I can't take it.
Questions about the secrets of time as they come from our Lord of Darkness, Don Cheadle's
idea what now is. Now I was flying. Now I breathed fire, and I ate them as they fled. Now I whipped my tail, and the winds trembled. Now I am hidden in this pale shade of flesh and bone. Now I am witness to man's eternal salvation. Now I am witness to his demise. Do not speak to me of time, demon. Its simplest ebbs and turns elude your meager understanding. Find another way.
Many times, pretentiousness is tied to ambiguity, and our understanding of ambiguity can help us decipher if a film is, in turn, pretentious. Ambiguity is a narrative tool used by filmmakers to keep their movies in the public conversation with little to no reverence for the material itself. While some filmmakers attempt to utilize this tool as the thesis for their movie, using every scene to express the thematic intent of the ambiguity that is to come by the end of the credits, this is often a short-sighted method that exacerbates the mentality of hardworking audiences who want their movies to affirm their own experiences without thinking about the nature in which those experiences craft our understanding of the world around us. Let's take a quick look at how ambiguity reinforces certain pretentious tendencies versus when it is used to reveal themes in a powerful way. In Charlie Norman's Memento, the director carelessly plots his movie to function in both a linear and non-linear structure, purposely distorting the perceptions of the audience so that they will assume that there's more happening in the movie than there actually is. As we follow scene after scene of distortion and manipulation regarding what is true and what is the not, we are eventually left with more questions than answers by the film's open ending, which suggests a litany of possibilities instead of a firm answer. The use of ambiguity is less inherent in the roots of the narrative of the film and more created to pontificate a slapdash idea of the fallibility of memory and even truth, and forcing the audience to tie the movie's plot elements together on their own and do all the work. With that, Memento is pretentious. On the flip side, Norman's masterpiece of Inception deals with if dreams are real or not, and if they are they dreams or are they real, and how do we know if they are the real dreams? At the end of the film, Jake Gyllenhaal spins his wife's Beyblade and the camera lingers on it, waiting for it to topple. As we cut before the Beyblade tips, we are left with the serious thematic question: is Jake Gyllenhaal in a dream with his kids? Is he? But the answer is smartly left up to the public to decide. But is he? Because one's answer smartly implies how much of the movie they were paying attention to. He was. It's a dream. It's not a dream. Inception is not pretentious. But what can you do as a filmmaker to avoid being pretentious? I've compiled a list of steps and usable tools to help. Step number 1. Figure out what your movie wants to say, and say it in every scene, either visually or through the mouth of a nice foreigner. Number 2. Avoid scenes without dialogue, but also include some just to be sure. Number 3. Chanting. Number 4. Attempting to conflate 2 or more ideas together just in case one is pretentious and you can't tell. Number 5. Film one scene at high exposure. Number 6. Use a green screen in some small way so people know that you didn't try too hard. And that's how you make a movie not pretentious. Thank you for watching. I hope the things that you learned here, when you show them to your people friends through your movies, they'll go, "You did it, my fella." And I've also made a link to one of my first videos that I ever make, and and we can make an exercise. Can you tell, is it pretentious or not? And if you want, you can also support my Patreon. I don't monetize my channel because the studios will come down and they'll eat the video and take it from you and me. So helping my Patreon helps me, and I get to eat. Okay, I hope that today is good for you. Bye.